Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. This time is different post-separation. I don't know how to come back from this. I honestly don't. I had a partner, Jay, whom I was together with for nearly 4 years. In my life I experienced a lot of hardship. It left me with severe trust issues. Jay was a girl I knew in HS. We got back in contact in our adult years. I was struggling, but trying to fix myself. I had not long exited a really bad relationship. I was hesitant, it was my baggage, but Jay didn't care. Then the pandemic struck. The isolation got to me. My life was flipped on its head. I was stuck. And I got worse. I sought out therapy, and told Jay we needed a break. We were separated for a handful of months. In that time, she experienced SA. I didn't know this at the time. During the anniversary of our miscarriage she reached out to me. Wanted to make sure I'm okay. Things quickly returned to how they used to be. And for quite some time things were okay. We both struggled, but we supported each other. But that takes us to February. A few days before we went out to celebrate Valentine's early, she went to see him. She ended up breaking down. She came clean. It broke me. I know that it is silly to expect things to be fine by now, but it hurts. In a way I can't even begin to describe. Just the week before we were planning out the year, we were speaking of getting engaged. And then, this. I have been cheated on in the past. But none of them hurt like this. This is why, this time, it's different. I barely eat. I struggle to sleep. Most of the time I feel like a husk. And I'm scared to stop. If I leave myself for too long, my mind spirals. And that is the last thing I want to allow myself to do. I am still in therapy. I have been for quite some time now. And my stubbornness doesn't allow me to not be okay in the long term. But now, I feel lost. And I don't know if I ever want to try finding love again. If you decide to stay, you never get over it, you learn to live with it. You are not married, find someone that will not do this to you. We are no longer together. We split, and she went with the other guy for a month before he ditched her. I know that staying would be stupid. Doesn't make it hurt any less. No it doesn't. My SDBXW cheated on me 3 times, with a total of 4 people. It's coming on 6 months and I am still numb. Shit. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope things look up for you. You as well, sir. It will. Eventually. Ha ha. I just came from the recent post where she hit you up out of the blue asking to meet up. Seeing that she left you for him, for a month at that, I'd warn against granting her audience, my good sir. If you do, she'll probably apologize, tell you what a fool she'd been, say it was a huge mistake and all that other good stuff. Which, if I'm not too forward here, will only weaken your resolve. Don't do it, bro. Wait, so she cheated on you with the guy that sexually assaulted her? Yes. He had been harassing her for months. Police were unwilling to do anything, because he has stopped shy of ever threatening her. It was more him talking about how he was gonna win her back, etc. I don't know how it escalated from there. She had deleted the messages since the last time I saw them, which wasn't even that long ago before the incident. She was unwilling to pursue the SA through the courts. Mainly due to a court experience she had about a decade ago, where her assaulter was found not guilty, despite her having messages of his admitting, and apologizing to her. She was trying to seek therapy instead, but no therapist stuck with her. I also believe her about the SA. She had called him out in it after we got back together. His response was, I don't care. I wanted it. Right now you don't need to find love in others but love in yourself again. This heartbreak was more like a death to you. And I don't know if I ever want to try finding love again. Well, As someone who has gone through that point of no return, let me tell you, it's not that bad. I adopted a dog and hugged it when I needed something to cuddle with. I still love, but I focus on loving everything around me. No more emotional roller coaster. No more taking care of someone emotionally and physically. No more spending your hard-earned money on someone who doesn't deserve it. Peace and quiet, priceless. It's really not that bad. That is a very wholesome way of looking at it. Thank you for this kind internet stranger smile. I am glad to be of service, but if you still feel like giving it a shot one more time sometime later, I say go for it. In a way, I am basically coping out / giving up / surrendering, so it may not necessarily be a good / positive suggestion. Just remember to love yourself and put yourself first when you do. Best of luck. If, then it is a long time away. Right now, the thought of it just doesn't entice me. And I can't, with any honesty, say that it will in future. But you know, never say never. But on some level, I feel like allowing myself to truly give up means that she wins. That she broke me. I have always wanted a family. And I didn't enjoy the thought of someone else getting in the way of that. Be it stubbornness, or whatever. But, only time will tell. In the meantime, I have grief to feel, a life to live, and Amy to rebuild. Right now you don't need to find love in others but love in yourself again. This heartbreak was more like a death to you. I know. My focus at the moment is to focus on myself, and the things I wanted to do. Life doesn't stop, just because this happened. Maybe the idea of not being able to love in future is a bit melodramatic, but it is a genuine concern that I do have. She reached out to me. Advice. Hey guys. I posted when D-Day hit, about 4 months ago. Since then, I have been focusing on myself. Working on my fitness levels again. Finishing my college course in engineering. Re-exploring my spirituality. Today, I woke up to a text from my ex-fiancée, saying she wants to see me on the 24th. So far I've only asked her why. I have mixed feelings ATM. I don't think I should go, but I'm not certain. Any advice? Edit, update to the story in the post below. Likely her new shiny isn't as good. She wants old and familiar back long enough for her to heal her wounded ego, only for her to likely cheat again. A form of no, I'm not meeting up with you, we're done would be the best course of action. But ultimately it's up to you. It's common for them to want to hop back over the fence once they realize the grass wasn't as green as they thought. Time to post a no trespassing sign. This is exactly my line of thinking too. Things didn't work out for her, now she is reaching back out again. I could try to use it to get closure, but I know my own weaknesses. And she has always been one of them. This is where the mixed feelings arise. But ultimately, meeting her would be a bad idea emo. Thanks for your insight. Smile. Closure comes from within. It does not come from them, ever. Trying to get closure from a cheater is next to impossible, it only leads to further confusion and more hurt. They will blame shift, try to rug sweep, or downplay how badly it hurt you and others. She knows your weaknesses, and likely seeks to exploit them so she isn't alone. Cheaters are terrified of being alone. It wouldn't surprise me if she used tears and the "my life is meaningless without you, please save me" method of manipulation. Her saying she wants to see you is a test to see how quickly you jump to say yes. To see how much control she has over you. I know that she knows my weaknesses. Which is also one of the reasons why I don't think this is a good idea overall. Yeah, likely when you say no to her she is going to push your boundaries. Do not be surprised if she sends lengthy emails or texts, or randomly shows up at your place when you say no to the meetup. Best of luck to you, bud. Sounds like you are thinking about this in the right headspace. Keep fighting the good fight. Notice how she wants to meet up in 24 hours. She's already controlling the situation. Going back to an ex is like rereading a book, you know how it's going to end. I was thinking the exact same thing. Who TF is she to cheat and then start laying out what date she expects to see you again? She's definitely testing his frame to see if he's a pushover or not. Don't fall for it. She needs to be apologizing profusely, not setting a schedule for him like she's his boss. Stay strong, my dude. There is a light at the end of this tunnel. Why the 24th? Does the date have any special meaning? That's what I was wondering. Seems a bit odd to just randomly pick a date to meet up, man shrugging. It's a trap, brother. Don't do it. For your mental health. Leave her to fester in her own filth of poor choices. You are not Plan B material. Can't say it any better. Closure comes from within. Definitely remembering this one. Amen to that. I ducking love this and wish I'd heard these exact words from someone before I made the mistake of jumping into something again that would eventually hurt me. Thank you for this. Are you a glutton for punishment? Have you forgotten the pain she left you in before? Why go back to that? What exactly could she say that would make what she did okay so you could try again? If you can answer these questions, then you have the answer to whether you should go to see her. No, and nothing. Update, this time is different and she reached out to me. Reconciliation for all those who haven't followed my story until now. Here are my previous posts. Post 1, Post 2. TLDR up until this point. My ex-partner and I took a break a while back. During this time, she ended up being essayed by a guy she met. She tried to get away from him, yet he kept harassing her. She came to me, to tell me she had met him after months of harassment. Given how she acted, I assumed she had cheated. That was 4 months ago. She reached out to me last week, asking to meet up on the 24th, the anniversary of the due date we were given before she miscarried. I managed to get her to meet with me beforehand. The emotional background would have been too much. I am just back from meeting her. Things were much worse than I previously thought. She had lied to me, 4 months ago. She didn't delete the messages from him. She simply didn't want me to see them. Afraid of what I would do to him, and the consequences of those actions. What I saw horrified me. He had been threatening her. Obsessive messages about how she belonged to him, and her being with me was her cheating on him. Him threatening her. Threatening me. She went to try and get him to back off. The reason she ended up so cagey, and became distant from me, is because she wanted me away from the situation. We split. She spent a month dealing with him, before finally putting him in his place. Things I saw that were the outside perspective were a lie. A fabrication she kept up to placate him until she managed to get him away. All this time, I had no idea. She has been spending the last 3 months making sure she is okay. She had been talking about how she missed me during these last 3 months. What kind of mistake it was to not simply talk to me about it. But she wanted to protect me from him. And from myself. I told her what she did broke my heart. That I can't just run back to her from something like this. That isn't something I can do. And I won't pretend it's possible either. She had asked if maybe someday we could at least be friends again. Told her it will take time. I have to heal from what happened first. But I am willing to try. Maybe after friendship, we can work toward a relationship again. It may be stupid. But I still miss her. I still want a future with her. And everything that came to light tonight, it has changed how I viewed things. Maybe that will go away with time. Maybe not. I don't know. But now I have other things to take care of. If she still wants a future, I told her that I need her to prove that to me. That has to come from her. Things need to be fixed. In her, in me, in us. In the meantime I will continue to work on my life. Develop myself further. Thank you, everyone. For your insight. For your words. Everyone who finds themselves in this subreddit has been dealing with hardships. I hope you can all heal. And I wish you all the best. Thank you for listening. Seems like BS. If she were being harassed by him and you were who she wanted to be with, wouldn't she have leaned on you for support? If his harassment was so terrible that she needed to protect you from him, wouldn't it also be bad enough for her to seek legal help? I'm betting she wasn't SA. I'm betting she slept with him willingly in the beginning and then ultimately decided to monkey branch from you to him. Once she realized the grass wasn't greener, she'd come back to you. Your story just doesn't add up. She did, for a while. Until his harassment became worse, and more erratic. I also had doubts about the original essay. If it weren't for the fact that I saw parts of their conversation, in which he said he ignored her saying no, because he wanted to take her for himself. I did say this in a comment on my previous posts. Regarding legal help, this was also explained there. She had an experience in the past. Ex-fiancé. Case went to court. Despite her having a confession of his via text, the case was thrown out. It made her hesitant to try a legal route again. You only saw the parts of their conversation that she wanted you to see. I agree with all comments here. If this really happened, she should go to the police. Are you sure those messages are real? Looks like what he was saying constitutes criminal harassment. She could still go to the police. Something doesn't fit here, unless Op has a history of being an impulsive person. Why did she prefer to break his heart and lead him to think she was having an affair? Why does she wait until a very manipulative date to release this information? Did she file a police report? How exactly did she put him in his place? For me, this was an affair that ended wrong and she was afraid to blow up her cover. Dude, no, you can't ever be friends. Why? Your future partner will not want you being friends with a serious ex. Block her. Every time you connect, your healing goes back to ground zero. At the moment, I am not even beginning to think of future partners. I have a lot of other things to focus on. Dude. I stopped after the second paragraph. I went and read a few of the comments and I agree with all of them. Now, here's the thing, kid. It's easy to delete a few messages here and there and show you. The thing is, it's all off, and smells like bad juju all the way around. If what she's telling you is true, she needs to get a restraining order and press some charges for either SA or harassment. Now here's why I don't believe what she's saying. If that shit was true, she would have already done the above. It sucks and it hurts, but on this one, walk away. You will be way better in the long run. Mate, her story seems off and those texts could be fabricated. The only way you could get the truth is to talk to AP. It's good that you're working on yourself, and continue to do so. As for So, remember she is the one that caused this mess, her actions broke you. Learn from this and move on to be the better version of you. Good luck, Hop. I guess the messages could be fabricated. If she had access to his phone, and his Facebook account. Because either she fabricated the harassment that I did see originally, or it was real. You got this, mate. Don't be too trusting, especially of people that lie and hurt you. I know a man. Taking things one day at a time. Smile. People can and will create fake Facebook accounts, unfortunately. Do a search for accounts with his name, whilst logged out, in case either of the accounts blocked yours. That would make them not show whilst logged in. Stalking sucks, but at a bare minimum she's doing a weird amount of learned helplessness and waiting to spring a dramatic reveal on an in-person visit instead of keeping you in the loop from the get-go, ostensibly for your own good. Like the best case scenario is okay, well, her handling of this harassment is too poor for her to be in a relationship. Also, as somebody that's been stalked, it's just not adding up. Sure. But given that this is a person who has contacted her while I was right there with her in the past, that would mean if this is a fake account, then someone else would need to be involved in it. But then, there are some other things that make that a lot less feasible. Such as her actually ending up pregnant from the SA that she experienced. That doesn't tend to happen from fake Facebook accounts. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.